Alright guys, what's up YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel, www.whatsupinthesky.com. More amazing stuff back from the rover. If you watch my channel, if you know exactly what we're talking about, what we're looking at, what's been going on with the rover, where it's been, the anomalies it's been in. If you're new to my channel, you want to probably go back check out some of the other videos. But we're going to show you some anomalies like I usually do here. Basically, I take a pic out of here, and I need to get to the moon. That's next. I haven't been on the moon lately, and we scrutinize the pictures coming back. These JPEG files that they call raw images, which aren't raw images, they're definitely compressed JPEG. See the raw images up there? They'd be PDS if they weren't. They'd be the planetary data system files, but they'd be much more resolution coming from them. But this was from Saul 582 for everybody. This link right here is going to be in the description. Check it out as always. And let's get down to it because it's got some pretty cool stuff on it. Signs of planning, maybe some torn up civilizations, some stuff that was around. There's a couple things we should start off with. There's a couple of statues here, and then maybe if this face right here, it almost looks like an Indian, American Indian here. Also some interesting carvings and stuff that seem to be on the ground laid out. Pretty cool. Getting into some pretty interesting stuff here that the rover's finding. And what they do is NASA's been putting this real blur over top of everything, so it's kind of making it hard to see. So what I do is a lot of times I come here and do the auto color just to see what Photoshop thinks that it should look like, basically. It's basically running its auto filters, doing a couple things, leveling things out. And that's what you get with the auto color. I'm not Let's see what we get with the full scale. That does help a little bit better. So we've got this thing here that's got a comes up and it looks a little curved, and it looks like it's got a basin around it, and you're gonna be able to see it. It's actually a curved basin. It almost looks like some sort of water fountain or something like that. Believe it or not, you're gonna see some curved rocks that look like they were shaped out over here. Another one right here that seems to have perfect shapes in it and some stuff coming out of it. Let me get my pointer from up here. Also, some square blocks out here, and then another which seems to be perfectly ornate. Almost looks like a writing stone or something like that. And then out here, you're going to see some things that almost look like a little being. And this is what I see. What I see. You see what you see. You know, that's as far as I can say for this stuff. But with some sort of, it's been blurred out and messed with a little bit. Some sort of what looks like spiral thing there. It's pretty interesting. Once you get it picked up close, it's kind of blurry. Now also, this picture has this what seems to be these little figures in white that are bending over. And like I said, I'm not sure if these are actually little living beings on Mars or they just look like it. It's matrixing, or if this is just how the stuff is. I mean, it almost looks like some sort of spirits or something like that. Or who really knows? Like I said, I'm not doing anything scientific here, so don't claim. If you're coming here for looking for that, you're in the wrong place. So let's start with this head down here and go up. Oh, and also up here, you're looking at signs of civilization like step pyramids that have a perfect square there, squared off. And then up here, you're going to have perfect what look like, you know how when we do farming and stuff or build buildings, they're usually in rectangle or, rectangle fashion. That just seems how, the logical thing to do or have that. So we got this here, a lot of good stuff to look at. Of course, this stuff is a little bit blurry, so if you're looking for some real high res stuff, you're not going to find it. At least not here from NASA, not anymore. The pictures coming back from the rover now look atrocious compared to the way they were. Um, Also, some here. See here how you've got either some shading issues from NASA or what it looks like at one time, basically plots, building plots, stuff like that, foundations for what would have been, what all this rubble is, homes, or who knows what it could have been things for. Ooh, my little hand pad went out there. This Apple trackpad. Sometimes this happens. Hopefully it'll come back because that's how I move around in the picture. There we are. All right. Also, this little cool thing here, this little spherical thing, almost looks like a little spaceship. And I tell you what, I used to, when I started, people email me, tell me that there are Martians that are this big, very small beings. And the more and more I see this stuff, I'm thinking, well, you know what? Maybe they are. Maybe that's why sometimes when we see UFOs here, they just look like glowing orbs. They're not, sometimes they're not huge, people say. Sometimes they just look like glowing orbs. Maybe that's what it is. Who's to say now? This is cool here. We've got this, whatever this is, it looks like something that would be in a front yard of a typical American to have a, but that would be a big round metal ball and it would be just glowing and this would be the base. But there seems to be something here. Looks like it's up in the air and it looks, you can see its shadow under it. It's pretty cool stuff. So we'll take, like I said, better looks at these. You're going to get a lot of probably matrixing or, like I said, the blurriness and all right, let's go for it. People say I waste too much time talking. I said, if people come and watch my videos, see, the people who just want to see the anomalies, you saw them, now you can go ahead and roll out. The people who care and want to stick around and really take a look at it, they're going to stick around and look at it. So, all right, we'll mess with the whole, let me see what I did last. Am I working off of the auto color? So what do you got? I think I'm going to leave that on and then mess with the gamma. All right. I like the gamma, especially when I'm looking at stuff, but this here's what I'm getting at with this guy. Here would be the mouth with the teeth, having perfect teeth, everything. Um, Perfect nose, perfect eyes with the brow coming up into a hairline, and just looks to be attached to this piece here. I mean, it's almost like it came right off of a statue that broke, and it could easily be looks like something here on Earth, like a being that like lived here. And I understand, matrixing and stuff like that, but when you get so much of this stuff in one area, you got to start asking yourself, okay, NASA, it's time to come clean. I mean, this stuff is getting ridiculous, some of the stuff we're out there finding. Like I said, I've got plenty of videos behind me. All my buddies have videos. Go to my website. I got some of my friends uploading their videos to it now. So we're going to be putting together one of the biggest, I'm trying to put a conglomerate together of information for anybody who really wants to know the truth and go looking for it. Look at that. All right, so this is, let me pull that down just a little bit more. You can get carried away with the exposure there. Here we go. Let me bring this in a little bit. Right now I'm looking at like 10 different anomalies right here in front of me. I'm wanting to point them out all at the same time. But like I said, we're going to try and go through one at a time. Let's see if we can't make this bigger. Here we go. Check that thing out. What do you think? Do you see it now? Do you see the teeth? Do you see the ear? It's looking this way. You don't see its other. You see the eye. Looks almost. It looks almost perfect. Yeah, like the. I don't know much other to say than that. I mean, that's just a random rock. It could be just a random rock, but how many random rocks are you gonna find? It almost looks like it's been smudged a little bit at the top. Some stuff taken off. I mean, it could just be illusion. I'll let you guys decide that. I'm thinking it looks like the face of somebody right there. Um, and it's around a bunch of very symmetrical stuff. I mean, look at this right here. Look at this whatever it's by. This looks like it was carved and part of a carving or something. Look at these different color balls right there. This coming out into it. Check this out. It's almost like a long piece here. It's almost like this planet is one big. It's either being I said either had a lost civilization a long time ago because there's two or three different ways I'm looking at this. I'm seeing it as having very small something on it now or in the past that took the rubble and just made it beautiful. I mean, worked on it, did stuff to it, and they built their cities around maybe where other cities were. Who knows? But I know that they're manipulating these photos, and when you get up into this size, you can tell more and more because you start seeing stuff like this where things just don't match. You know, where you should see part of something they've missed in the blur. Um, let's back it up here. Like this is a fine example of them looking like something's messed up, or that just is a the artifact right there that they put over top of it. I don't think that's hiding anything right there, but let's go ahead and see if we can't do. See, it's good to isolate these sometimes. I know my subscribers are probably seeing this face right here, which we're programmed to see faces. So many people say that, and I do believe that's the truth. And then right here, how interesting is that? That looks like these little white, almost looks like curve. When you bring the gamma up and start seeing, like all the white stuff starts really pulling out. Sorry about that. So I think we looked at that one enough. Let me go ahead and let me do one more little bit to it. Let me just do it like this with the auto. Smash it with the auto and see what happens. Image, auto color, image, auto contrast. I don't think it's getting better. Alright, so let me just back these on up. It's a big difference when you're going from color to that. See the difference though? Check that out. This is what NASA says is a raw image, and with just one auto function, you start getting that much better of a view of it. I don't know, NASA. You guys, I love to have like a sit down conference with you guys, face to face. Let's look at these things and say, what is this? Explain to me how this works. There's so many things that we find in these pictures that we've reported on. There's so many of us doing it now. Um, you're gonna have to say something. Actually, you know what? They'll just sit there, put their heads in the sand, and talk. Cut ties with Russia. People were so tired of living in this so polarized world that we live here. I'm an American. I'm so tired of the country that I have acting like we're, boss of everything. Or it's pretty sad. We're not even the most population. Nobody's the boss of anybody here. And I surely don't think we should have a one world government or anything like that. But good God, people, it's like why can't we just have some peace? I mean, this is the stuff everybody should be caring about, like trying to figure out why we're here, life, things like that, and all those working together would be the way to go. And I just like this here. NASA's too busy getting in politics instead of explaining why this thing looks like it's on a. It looks like it did something one time at the top. It's got a little round piece that comes down. It comes down into it, and this looks like a basin that's been cracked here on each end. See how it comes up like this and it spins around the back? And right here looks to be blurred. So whatever was right here, it's gotten the blur tool, just the old blur square, because it had to have. Look how cool it is right there. And then again, it got one right there too. So whoever's manipulating these pictures at NASA, they let some stuff come through, but man, you need to be fired. None of this stuff should be coming through. Um, but I guess what happens is I think we landed these rovers on a very very active part of the Gale crater that we thought was an ancient civilization. It's almost like dumping it into New York City after it had been destroyed. So you'd find stuff like this strewn about everywhere. They were just that's what we're finding, random stuff everywhere. Don't know about the tech. Who knows what the actual tech they had was, but there's some amazing symmetry and amazing buildings and things we've been finding. So everything seems to be carved up on this area, and everything seems to have. Let's see what's going on with this piece right here. All right, I don't know why this is still up like that. It looks like the computer's doing something. Let me hit pause, see if it locks up. All right, I think we're not locked up now. Yeah, good old here. This thing definitely has some cool stuff in it. Like I said, I hope my other guys get on this one too. Let's see what we got. I had to move it. For some reason, I had to move it to the oval here. So we're going to have the oval. We're going to move around and do some stuff. Because I want to take a look at this piece right here that seems to be ornate. It looks like it seems to be, looks like it seems to have this like carving piece right through here. And it's hard to see because the rover's been bringing this stuff back. Oh, and also I mean, this thing down here looks like a little demon or something in white. It looks like it was carved out of something translucent. I don't know. I'm not sure how stuff like that just shows up in a picture, but up here too seems to be something perfect, like a box or something. And the stuff just looks strewn about. Here's some perfect little circles right here that come off. Looks like part of machinery. I mean, this stuff is, and also whatever it was, it got some pretty high heat, I think. So everything's kind of just mashed together, like something in a big city would look like. So let's see what we can come up with here. Let's play with the gamma. Hmm. See, you can't see too much of anything on the front there, but this does seem to have a real curved cut piece, so not really sure on that one. Comment, let me know what you guys are thinking here. This seems to be a little pipe coming out of here, see that? And it comes out of this piece right here. This is pretty much all connected together. Let's go down and see this little guy right here. This is pretty crazy. And it actually looks like he's next to another little demon dude or whatever. I mean, come on, you guys, I know I exaggerate. I've got a very vivid imagination when I do this stuff, and that's just how I am. You come to my channel, you watch this stuff. That's how I do it. That's why you probably keep coming back. I see what I see, you see what you see. But check this little guy out. I'm gonna look at eyeball and a mouth and some sort of like he had gills or something when it wasn't just a skeleton or whatever. And then this thing right here, this say eyeball, nose, mouth, elongated chin. Look at this thing coming up. It circles. It comes around to the front. It almost looks like a light being. Next to this other thing that's this color. That what in the world is this? It's got all sorts of symmetry in it right here. But it also looks translucent. I'm sure it's a rock, but somehow it's got some very colorful stuff in it. Next to another little thing here, it looks like something looking at the rover, looking up that way. See that one piece up here, like right here, this looks like something that would take a pipe in. It's got two little perfect circles up top of it. You just gotta wonder how much of this can be a coincidence. I mean, look right here. This is where stuff was getting good. Something was right here, and it got the blur tool. And you can see that it got the blur tool because look, well, I don't know if I can box it out. The box thing was acting kind of weird, but here's the box right there of the blur tool. So here it looks good. Then when it gets to that, it looks blurred out. Yeah, see what I was saying? Right there, it gets blurred out. And whatever was right here, we can't see. Now that some people are gonna say, well, that's just the rover's been up there for so long. Like, well, that might be the case, but here it looks like another strange little being that's in white. It's got this real long face or something like that. But this it has to be some sort of rock or something that's bringing that color back. This stuff seems to be cut a little bit. It almost looks like a skull that's buried into the sand. You know what? It looks like the skull here has actually got the same thing. See, look, an eyeball. And it looks like it's got that gill like the other one did on the front. Where was that other one? Right here. Let me get the pointer. This little thing right here. See how it had that gill, eyeball, gill, eyeball, gill. I see what I see, you see what you see. That's what I see. More pipes that are run through here. See, going through here, just perfectly turning quarters, going under stuff. So that makes me think, is there a little civilization on Mars? Maybe there are little beings that live this big up there. This is what they've built. This looks like you could be looking over a big city right now. Now, don't just say it's because it's junk. Like, people say, oh, well, just blurry stuff. Go out in your backyard and take some pictures and blur them up a little bit and take a look at it. Your grass doesn't look like, there's normal stuff doesn't look just like something like a building would. So either way, once again, this is the coolest. I tell you, that looks pretty neat. And this little artifacts laying around it everywhere. Here's one right here. This one's pretty interesting. Look, it's got a U shaped in it, like it was had something through it or went up on a wall. It's got a rectangle here, an eyeball, an eyeball. It looks like it came right off of a statue, just like this looks like it came right off of a square statue. More and more stuff hanging out, more piping, weird things. I don't know, guys. Oop, hope I'm not making you sick as I move too fast through here. Like I said, I love getting and using my imagination on these things too. Because why not? Why not? Why not? Oops. This right here, like I said, we took a look at this too. This seems to be a perfectly square box almost here. It has this stuff on the side. It's almost like, now this is kind of interesting. Look at this. Almost like this thing's coming up and looking up over top of it. Looking up and in. Pretty cool. This illusion is back here probably. It looks like it's standing up over top of it, looking into a toolbox or something like that, but yeah, that's probably just an illusion. More symmetry up here. In this, look at that rock right there. We're going to get out of this bottom piece here for a second, but this is where a lot of the interesting stuff was. But even when we get up taller, it's still pretty cool. Right there. Symmetry in these rocks. You know what? Here looks like more of those little white faces looking this way. Wouldn't it be cool if our dimension what if there are dimensions? You know, people say they see spirit here on Earth. And you might have seen one before. I've seen a couple. They're like almost like that white see-through. Um, wouldn't that be cool if our cameras were catching those on this planet, and that's why we find a lot of this stuff? I'm sure that's not. Yeah, who knows? Like I said, nobody can prove any of this. Everything I say here is speculation. And that's why I love my channel. I'm not sitting here. I just would love to talk to NASA and hear what they got to say about this stuff. This isn't the most obvious in-your-face one out there, but it's starting to get up there. We're getting many and many of them. So let's look. Let's go ahead and take a look at the. Let's take a look. Just go up the hill one time here. We'll roll up the hill together and see if you guys see anything I haven't seen. It's kind of shaky because my fingers. I showed you that here that I thought was cool. This was one of the first things that grabbed my eye because it looked like just honeycomb or something or a little tree spiral. And next to it had this thing hanging over top of it. It looked like a statue of something or a little being. Here you've got a triangle, it looks like, into something. And I know my buddies who actually see this stuff are like, that's a little, see it, Will, see that guy, see that little dude? I wonder if I could do that to the whole picture, just do the exposure like that. Oh, the gamma. Oh, I think that's how I did that part of it. I know it's going to take up a lot. Hopefully I don't lock it up. Well, there we go. That right there definitely looks like something that was there. All right, as we go up, let me go ahead and cancel that. This was kind of rounded and strange. Up here, we've got some more interesting stuff. Let's go take a look at some of the stuff over here. And I'll let you guys go, as always. And I hope you download this picture. Like I said, I hope you guys are getting all the ones we put out there, at least to take a look at it for yourself. You know, especially if you're thinking or you got people you want to show. It's hard to sit and show somebody who's not interested in this a video. Like, you can pass this video along. Like I say, please share, because a lot of people do like this stuff that wouldn't run across this anyway. This does look like another head here. Eyeball, nose, mouth. Looks pretty interesting. This looks like a little piece of machinery. See how it's got like an inverted circle there and an out circle there, some lines and stuff. Let's see what we do with the auto color. Let's see what we got. I don't know. Interesting to say the least. And then up here we got what I thought was cool, a little spaceship looking thing. Like I said, what just like a little guy's spaceship. All right. Image, let's do auto color. It's so small, I don't think we're going to get much more out of it. Now, see, my favorite was a thing that looked like an Indian down there, um, Native American. Then up here, you're just going to get, I know what we're going to see up here. It's going to just be a whole lot. Let's look at the, let's do a whole overall, um, where is it? What am I looking for? Adjustments, exposure. I'm just going to pull the gamma up on the whole thing because there's things right here. Looks like tubing. And you start seeing it when I pull it out. It's going to darken some stuff, but you're really going to start pulling out the edges of things. That's why I do it. Especially for stuff in the distance, because you're not going to get this really, really good vision. It's hard to see it anyway. But notice when I add that gamma, stuff starts popping out on you. You start seeing things that look to be stacked up. Here we go. It just doesn't look like a bunch of soil anymore. That's what I'm saying here. You know, it actually has shapes to it. Look at this. It's got a big old circle round to it. Comes up on a curve. There's some stuff here. There's some. It looks like some sort of little statue, something. Here, just look at that little twisty turn. And this stuff so far away could be anything. Um, who knows what exactly we're seeing there. That looks like a perfect sphere. See that? It's pretty interesting. And then up here on this hill, this is where it really starts getting interesting. I think that some stuff's going on. I definitely think this stuff was carved out. You've got what seem to be circles, and if this was a JPEG artifact, it wouldn't be on that angle. See how this circle is an oval to us because we're looking at it on an angle? So this is like a perfect circle going down into something, it looks like. At least it's dark, so I have to imagine it's going down. Let me get this with a little bit more gamma. There we go. And you can really see this stuff. Hopefully you can really start seeing this. Look at this perfectly rounded, or look how rounded that is. Oval comes up. It's got this stuff over here. Let's see how big we can make this. It's just like down here. This one's pretty cool up here. Exposure progress. More of those circles. See over here, this one right here. Let's keep looking while it's doing the progress. More circles here. What seems to be layering. Another perfect sphere. But see, there's one here, and then there's another one right there. See, there's the one. Actually, I put it right over it. The circle's right over it. I went to the side. Here, tell me that doesn't look like a stacked up building next to it. Alright, so here's this. Let's make it a little bigger if we can. Check that out. That's pretty cool, I must say. Let's see. I'm looking at this area right here. It looks like to have a diamond shape on its side with a circle in it. A perfect sphere. And then look at, I mean, that if I would imagine that something was intelligent was building something, that would be possibly it. Auto color, that does kind of pull it out a little bit. Let's see if that's going to tweak it a little bit better if I do some of the gamma now. You know, and it gets blurry. Like I said, it's blurry, but you got to be able to see the shapes in here. I mean, compared to what would just look at a normal mountain with nothing on it other than just rocks that are going up. How could how could that perfect round circles be there? You know, perfect And when I say perfect, I'm talking this stuff's been here probably for a long time, so as close to perfect as we could find. All right, here I'm matching the color on accident, but let me go back on that a little bit, edit step backwards. All right, let me just give it a little bit bump on the brightness here. Image adjustments, brightness, because this stuff looks like there's some stuff here. You really don't have to go far to find this stuff. This is just one picture I pulled out of a bunch. Honestly, you could do this yourself. Like I said, I leave links to the thing here. You go to that Mars thing and pull it out. There's a video on there I've got, says how to find Mars anomalies. That just tells you how the special apps for your phone if you want to look on your phone. I mean, there's so many programs out there, so many, so easy, and all these pictures have stuff in them. If you got Photoshop, you don't even need that. There's free programs out there that work. Now this is cool. Check this out. Look how perfect this is. We've got that circle right here that goes down. I mean, this right here should be proof enough for somebody that something's going on up there. At least something up there is going on. That there's a perfect circle that's on an angle, so we'd see it as an oval. It drops down into this dark cavity right here, and above it are two perfect levels with a huge sphere on one side, two perfect spheres right there. I mean, hopefully you can see this on your tablets. Um, sphere, sphere, line, line, perfect. Perfect here. Very interesting, very ornate. I mean, that to me, that's just signs of civilization. Nature doesn't just slap some stuff like that together. And I'm sure you're seeing a whole bunch of stuff on this that I'm not. That's why I love the comments. So I see what I see, you see what you see. I want to know what you guys see. I wonder if you're seeing all the great stuff I am here, or am I just, you guys think I'm Looney Tunes? Like I said, either way, I don't care. This look at this. This looks like it's been has some writing on it. Look, S L. Yeah, the middle like SL. This looks like some sort of writing. Like it's like you know how we have a Hollywood sign. That's pretty interesting. And it just keeps moving on through it. Whoa, what do we got there? Whoa, what in the world is that? That's going to take some investigating. This one's getting long, but this stuff is cool. I really hope my buddies pick this up and roll with them. Like I said, there's so many of you guys out there that do videos. I had somebody ask me today, is it okay if I do a video or use like one on the one you did? I'm like, dude, we all find these. All of us are finding these at the same time. Make as many videos as you want. You don't have to credit me for anything because I say half this stuff I think people think they found. We've already found it. Somebody else has already found it. There's no arguing. It's all for the good. Check that thing out. What in the world is that? It's got shapes all over. It's huge. It's stacked. Down here, something's hidden. Look at that. It's got that little blur tool or something on it. But this is actually pretty big. It goes over to here, that whole little piece. I should have done it actually more that way. Should have put it the whole way there, but we don't need to do that anyway. Pretty interesting. And then here, look at this. More perfect. I mean, you want to see some foundations? This stuff is perfect. Look at this. I don't know, guys. I don't know how many of these videos I have to make. Are you guys skeptics? Does anybody here still a skeptic of this stuff? I mean, I know it's a stretch to say that, what we're saying here, but this stuff, look at that. Half circle, perfect. I mean, more of these circles here that look like part of walls. They've got, looks like stairs that go up. And then over here at the other end of it, I know we're going to get to it soon. Look at this, more and more of these things that just look like faces. Look at this, more and more ornate stuff. I mean, you can't, look at that. It looks like it's got, this is the blinds effect, but it looks like that thing's got levels and pillars. And these things come down like this. So more and more we run across this stuff, it's just so easy to say, okay, all right, NASA, it's time to come clean. And then finally at the end you have a perfect line off like that on another piece that would have let us in. Alright, oh, what's this right here? Look at this tower. Whatever this thing was, it was up in the air. See that? Or going up the hill there? Pretty cool. All sorts of geometry, guys. Have I hit are you guys agreeing with me? Comment. I'd love to hear from some people who've never commented before on this. Because if you made it this far into my video, we're probably 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes, you rock, you care. I mean, look at this stuff. What do you guys, ooh, look how bright that is. Oh, I never, you know, there was one more square anomaly that I wanted to show everybody. that I gotta find now. Hold on, let me get this thing to come backwards. Definitely gotta get this, find that one. Because it was very weird. It's like a perfect. Here it is right there. Alright. Look at that thing. I hope you can see it. And then, see how all this stuff is not just like sand? I'm telling you, sand, I live by the beach and stuff. I've been other places. This looks like a perfect little square on top of it. You're not going to get much out of it other than that. So, and I'm going to leave you guys with what I saw first and what I thought was the coolest part. This little guy down here. Oops. Let's give him a little nudge with the auto color. Hopefully brighten him up a little bit. All right, there you go, guys. What's Up in the Sky 37. My website's www.what'supinthesky.com. I'm looking for people who want to add articles, write articles, talk about UFOs, talk about aliens, people to do videos. I'm looking for authors. Anybody who want to come on there and put their stuff up. I'm getting a fairly amount of decent hits on there. It's going to give you exposure. It's going to help my site blow up. It's what we all want, right, guys? Take it easy. Much love. It's Will. You guys have a wonderful night.